Hey, what's good guys? This is Chris from WearTesters.com. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we're taking a detailed look at these guys right here. This is the brand new Adidas AlphaBOOST. Not Bounce, Boost. So for those of you guys that have already been on the whole like Adidas wave or whatever it is that you want to call it, you already are aware of the Adidas AlphaBOOST. That's actually a really dope shoe, very comfortable, I think. A little bit on the heavy side, but it was still a dope shoe nonetheless. These guys right here kind of take that upper and they conform the midsole tooling, but they've made it out of boost instead of bounce. Now, because of the updates that they made to this shoe, the retail price has been increased. I believe the original bounce version was retailing at like $100, which I found to be very affordable. These guys increased it by about 50 bucks. They're 150, and that's a little expensive, but they are a very interesting shoe. So we're going to talk a little bit about their tech specs and features. The first of which is the outsole. This guy right here doesn't have that traditional kind of stretch web outsole that we'll see on something like an AlphaBOOST. Instead, we have this really thick and rugged kind of continental rubber outsole right here, but there's lots of flex screws in it still. So it will have a lot of flexibility and all that stuff in the forefoot, which is great. These are listed as training shoes, by the way, not just like a runner. So it's got a little bit of like everything in there. So not only do you have that continental rubber with linear traction, but they've also included these little orange areas right there for some lateral coverage and all that stuff, just in case you're doing extra activities during your training regimens and all that stuff, not just running. They did say on adidas.com that this traction right here was made specifically for not just dry, but also wet conditions. It's supposed to give you extreme kind of grip during wet conditions or wet roads, which I think is great because that's one of the issues I find with an AlphaBOOST. And I just wear AlphaBOOST casually, but if it's raining outside and I walk from the wet pavement to dry, like whatever the floor is, it's a little bit slippery right at first. So these are supposed to take care of that issue. Now the midsole itself is all boost, which is what you can clearly see right there. You can see boost everywhere, super chunky. Reminds me a little bit of the EQT Support something or others. I can't remember their name, but those were actually a lifestyle shoe inspired by their old performance line. This is the opposite. It is a performance shoe inspired by performance. And so it's like, it's better than that. Now, what I find very interesting is that the boost, when you put it on, doesn't feel exactly like the boost that you've come to know and love. It's a little bit firmer. It feels very stable, surprisingly, even in the forefoot. And in the forefoot, it's a little springier, especially when compared to that chunky heel. It looks like this is gonna like propel you and all that stuff, but it actually doesn't. The reason for that is that it's actually a dual density boost system, which I've never experienced before this shoe. So it was something that I wasn't expecting, especially upon try on. I was kind of like, why is it so thick and chunky, but it doesn't feel like boost? That's exactly why. It's dual density. It's a trip. It's very cool. On top of that, you got a TPU heel counter right there at the back for additional stability. The upper itself, they call it forged mesh, but it doesn't feel like the forged mesh that we've seen on the previous AlphaBOOST shoes. This one is a lot more airy and light. It's very breathable. I actually don't like the way that this feels on foot. It feels almost too light, like you're not wearing anything at all. Some people might like that. I personally don't. I do like to have, especially on a sock fitting shoe that you're supposed to do training or some type of like light activities. I do like to have a shoe that where like you can feel it on your foot and all that stuff. So this is one of those shoes that are like super lightweight feeling on your feet. But the forged part is all of the ribs that you can see. So they basically heat weld the design or whatever into the sneaker. This colorway honestly is pretty grandpa-ish. I'm not a big fan of this as far as like casual use goes. There are two other colorways though. There's a nice royal colorway, which got a little bit of a Nightwing flavor. And then there's a black base colorway that I believe is in collaboration with Parlay for the oceans and all that stuff. So it's made out of recycled material. Now, as far as fit is concerned, I actually went true to size lengthwise. My toe is right at the edge, which I love. Again, I don't feel the kind of material like hugging my feet and everything. It just feels like there's a lot of volume, and I can also feel it when the toe area flexes. It's not something that I personally prefer. So for this type of shoe, the way that it fits me personally, I would like to wear these, or I would rather wear these as just a casual shoe, not a performance shoe or anything of that nature. Not that I do that stuff anyways, you know what I'm saying? Like I play basketball, I don't like running and all of that. And so a shoe like this for me would just be off court. They actually do look cool though. I just don't like this colorway. This colorway is just, I don't know. Like I told my wife that they remind me of Adidas's version of like an Air Monarch. It's just really big and bubbly. And that pretty much takes care of it for these guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your support. Let me know what you guys think about these things. The AlphaBOOST. Are you down? Are you not down? Is Boost dead? I've heard today. I actually heard today. I know, I was talking about it. I was talking to somebody that works at a brand, not Adidas or anything like that, but he works at another brand, and he straight told me that many industry insiders believe Boost is dead. Is it? You guys let me know. Is Boost still alive? I have no comment. I really don't know. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your support, and until next time, guys, Have a good one.
Can we talk about a little something off topic first?
That's what we do.
We just finished watching the game, and that last 4 minutes with this guy was super rough.
Yo, my heart was just, it was so bad.
He had counted us out.
Did you see how we were playing? Did you see how we were playing? Did you see how Kawhi was playing? Kawhi's a monster.
I don't even know how he does all that.
I know how it feels to be an opposing team, like a fan or whatever, watching like Jordan just dismantle your team. I'm not going to use Orlando because that's not a good example. If you're a Jordan fan, you kind of know what's up with that. But New York, Indiana, Utah, LA, Seattle. Man, could you imagine being one of those guys? Just watching Jordan just demolish you. That's what it looked like Kawhi was doing, dude. Like, I was just like, anything that we're doing, he's got like an answer and then some.
Yeah.
You know? And it's not even the offense. He's killing us on defense, man. He's a two-way player. Him and Klay Thompson, the best two-way players in the league right now. I swear to God, I'm just saying, like, he might even, at this point, he might even be better than Klay because Klay takes a lot of threes. It depends on your night, you know what I mean? But that can mess with your shooting percentage. Kawhi doesn't just settle for threes. Kawhi is, you know, taking it to the rim. He's got a really nice mid-range. There was a stretch there where I was like, he's not missing.
Yeah.
He's not missing. You know, Kawhi's a monster, man. If Toronto gets to keep him, you guys are super lucky. You guys should enjoy that. If Toronto doesn't get to keep him,
come over here.
No, you don't do that. No, that's the whole KD thing all over again. No, you don't do that. I love my team. I love the Golden State Warriors, but Kawhi, go somewhere else. Make a name for yourself somewhere else. You deserve it. Don't do all that stuff. Don't listen to her. That was a bad thing. It was bad.
I like Kawhi.
Yeah, I love Kawhi, man. Like, I watched his interview with Rachel Nichols. I love this guy, man. Like, he's a good guy, and I like him. I like the way that he carries himself. He's just a no-nonsense player. He's a good dude. He's a fun guy.
I still don't get it.
That's what he said. He said, I'm a fun guy. I still feel bad for using that as a joke so many times, but it is funny. At the end of that Rachel Nichols interview, he even said, he was just like, I don't care, man. That's who I am. That's my laugh. Whatever, you guys can make fun of it if you want to. And I love that, man. He's a good dude, man. I like Kawhi. So if Toronto ends up winning in 6 games or 7 games, whatever it is, hats off to them. If we end up pulling through somehow, that's crazy, because I really don't think that it was earned. Look, the league is weird, okay? I'm not saying it's rigged, I'm just saying it's weird.
I don't even want to get into it.
I'm just saying, we can actually like go into it for real, because like, I could talk about it for a minute, man. That boogie thing, they called that, look, but at the same time, there was a lot of traveling going on, and they weren't calling none of that. So it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. It was super weird.
Well, then either call everything or call nothing.
That's what I keep saying, but that's not how the league works, okay? All I will say is that last 4.5 minutes, they sure as let them play. That was awesome. We had a conversation in a public setting very recently, and I had said something a little loud because the crowd got a little loud.
I was gonna make a joke while we were watching the game.
But the crowd got a little loud when we were eating, and then I had said, because there's this show that she watches, okay? This has nothing to do with these shoes, okay? So this is not even about the shoes at this point. This is story time. Story time with me. Okay, what was the show called?
Dead to Me. It has Christina Applegate,
Christina
and
Applegate
Velma.
and Velma's in it, okay? Hawkeye's wife. This show had me tense to the point where I don't want to give away the thing. Just go watch the show. I don't even like shows like that, okay? I don't like being stressed out.
5 hours of your life.
Yeah, I don't like being stressed out on purpose, you know what I'm saying? But like, that show, you got to watch it just so that you know how I feel, because it was so tense. The storytelling in it was so tense. I'm explaining my feelings to her in this restaurant. It's a little like mom and pop shop.
Little sandwich place.
Yeah, actually, if you're ever in Elk Grove, go to Jimmy's. Is it called Jimmy's Superb Subs?
I don't know. They're only open Tuesday through Saturday though.
But just look up Jimmy's Subs, and that place is awesome. So shout out to them. Get the Korean cheesesteak, the spicy Korean cheesesteak.
And onion rings.
Man. Yeah. So we're in this place and it gets pretty popping at lunch. So everybody's talking loud, all that stuff. And I'm trying to explain to her how I felt about watching this show and how it was like so tense that I told her that my butthole had never been so tight. And at that point, everybody stopped talking. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I just kind of looked at her and I was like, you know what? I said that kind of loud. You know what I mean? And then like she thought it was hilarious, but that's how I felt like in the last 5 minutes of this game. My butthole, besides that show, had never been that tight before, where I was just like, I don't know what's happening right now, man. Like, it's so crazy. Everything was nuts. I thought we were going to lose. I thought we were done. I was like, yo, the dynasty's over.
When we tied towards the end and it was like neck and neck, I was like, you need to leave now. now. You can't even be a part of
Man.
this.
And I just gotta say this. This has, again, nothing to do with anything. The Golden State Warriors, I don't know who approved or cleared KD to play. Okay, I don't know who did that, but you f***ed up, man. I don't care how bad he wants to play. I get it. Like, he's a champ. I got it. Like, he's got all my props. I would never talk shit. No, I will. I will joke around. I will never, like, meanly. You know what I mean? Like, there's a better word for it. You're not being sincere. You're being...
Malice?
Okay, I'll take that. But, like, yeah, I'll never, like, talk like...
Maliciously?
Yeah, there you go. I'll never do that. You know what I mean? Like, if I talk, it'll just be in a joking way. I'm not being serious. But he deserves all the respect for that. The dude went out there. He gave it everything, literally. Like, he could end his career at this point because that was dude. And whoever approved that, I'm just telling you, man, I don't know if I would fire you. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was a collective agreement amongst the entire body of the organization. They were like, yeah, like, let's approve him. This is a potential, you know, like, this could fuck up everything, right? I get it. But he should have never been cleared to play, man. Your Achilles is weak after a calf injury.
And it snapped hard.
It snapped, so man, I'm telling you, just thinking about it, it not only like brings me like to like where I'm like, man, I went through something not like that, but similar. I remember being so upset at myself when it happened to me. It's his livelihood, man. Like, and I get it. He's a multimillionaire. He's got plenty of money, all that stuff, but still, this is more than that. It's like, you don't want to see a guy get hurt like that. He put it all out there, so I'd like give him mad respect and all that stuff. I think that was great. I think the organization f***ed up though. You should have let him sit, or you should have forced him to sit like you did Clay, because that's he's not playing next year, man. That's dude. I'm just saying.